Hello, today we will be exploring the third tier of the urban legend iceberg. If you want to see the original image of the iceberg, you can look in the description below and find the original Reddit post where the user DarkMoon230 originally posted this image on Reddit. They are a close friend to me, and I would appreciate it if you gave them some kind of shout out or commented on their Reddit post. Thank you. Let's explore the iceberg. The Body in the Bed is a story popularized in the early 90s where a couple book into a hotel in Las Vegas, which is said to either be the Excalibur or the Mirage Hotel. Apparently, the couple enter into their room and immediately smell a foul odor and report it to the hotel. But the hotel look around their room and look for the cause of the smell, but find nothing. However, the couple still feel unsatisfied with the smell lingering in their room, and they tell the hotel that they would like a new room. However, the hotel has been fully booked that night, and they have to sleep in that room for the whole night, since they have no other option. In the morning they wake up to find the smell even more hideous than it was the night before. They tell the hotel about this again, and they send up a maid to look inside their room after the couple leaves for the day. When the couple returns, the room is completely blocked off by the police, and they find a police officer who tells them that their possessions have been moved to a new room. Later the couple find out that the maid who went to look in their room discovered a decomposing corpse underneath their bed. After the couple hears about this, the hotel offers a lifetime free room for their silence. The Man Under the Car is an urban legend which became popularized in 1984 in America. However, there were no actual reported cases of this event happening prior to the urban legend being spread around. But the story goes that a woman is coming back from shopping at her local mall when all of a sudden an attacker hits her in the back of her Achilles tendon with a knife or a tire iron, because they knew the woman would have their hands full of groceries and shopping, so they wouldn't be able to defend their legs. And this attacker goes to rob this woman's possessions or steal their car, or much worse. In some versions of this urban legend, there are reports that this urban legend needs to be carried out like some kind of ritual for an individual to join a gang. And apparently this initiate will cut off a part of the body from the person they are attacking to prove their worth to the gang, and the bigger the body part, the bigger the reward this initiate will get. The Body in the Water Tank is an urban legend about a hotel receiving complaints from customers about their water tasting funny and looking slightly off colour, so the hotel staff investigate the water tank and find out that a body has been found inside of it. Older versions of this story replace the hotel with a village and the water tank with a well, and the results always find a body decaying in the water that the villagers were drinking every day. Sadly, this urban legend turned out to be completely true for one case at the Cecil Hotel in 2013, which is a hotel I could probably do an entire video on with its already mysterious and eerie past. But in 2013, residents started complaining to the employees of the Cecil Hotel about low water pressure, and some residents recall their water being black and even tasting particularly unusual. This all came to a stop on February the 9th, when a hotel maintenance worker investigated the water tank, only to find the body of Elisa Lam floating in the water. The case was later issued as an accidental drowning, and all reports lead to Elisa Lam being off her medication that she was taking at the time. However, how she got into the water tank is open to interpretation by a lot of different sources, but the official report states that Elisa Lam walked into the water tank after suffering from withdrawal from her medication, and she allegedly threw herself into the water tank on purpose. However, other reports state that this was impossible due to the upstairs doors being locked off and with alarms being set off if someone tried to enter through this door. However, there are also several videos showing that you can get to the top of the Cecil Hotel without going through these doors, and Elisa Lam could have easily used these to get to the rooftop to meet her untimely demise. There are also signs that Elisa Lam may have been assaulted and murdered, and she could have been put in the water tank as a way for the killer to hide her body and try to dismiss it as an accident, so no false claims could be identified against the perpetrator, along with no evidence being shown on the body after it was submerged in water after several hours. But sadly, all these theories and speculations must all end in the tragic end of an innocent's life that was lost. The Killer Cop is an urban legend where a cop knocks on a woman's door and asks her if he can investigate her home because there has been a serial killer roaming around the local area, and she accepts, letting the officer inside. The cop then looks around her house and starts to manically laugh when he reaches the kitchen. The woman asks him what's so funny, and he tells her that you shouldn't let a serial killer into your house. From this, she quickly realizes that the serial killer is in fact the cop she has been talking to this whole time. However, this realization is too little, too late, and she runs to the front door, only to have her throat slit by the assailant. Luckily, this is merely an urban legend, and nothing more. However, there have been past cases of serial killers dressed up as police officers, such as Ted Bundy, who was dressed as a cop when he approached a woman by the name of Carol Durant. She said that he apparently called himself Officer Roseland, who apparently worked for the Murray Police Department. He said that she should come to the police station because someone tried to break into her car. So she went inside his car. However, on the journey, she discovered that he was, in fact, not going to the police station, but in the complete opposite direction. When she confronted Ted about this, he tried to handcuff her and tried to restrain her. However, she was able to fight him off and escape the car successfully, and live to tell the tale of a close encounter with one of the most infamous serial killers of all time. The Halloween hanging is an urban legend about a realistic-looking Halloween decoration of a hanging corpse in the front yard of a homeowner. People were delighted with how realistic this corpse looks and go to the house to congratulate the owner. However, the homeowner never responds to their knocks, and days after Halloween has passed, the hanged corpse still stays up until people start to notice that the corpse is moulding and is in fact a real body. Sadly, there are several real-life versions of this story, from murders being framed as Halloween decorations, suicides being shown on open display to the public, and even some cases of accidental hangings where the homeowner is setting up their Halloween decorations, only to end up hanging themselves. Cropsy is the name of a dangerous mental patient who allegedly escaped the Willowbrook Mental Hospital, which is located in Staten Island, which is south of New York City. And this patient would allegedly grab children in the dead of the night if they were in the streets alone. he would often be depicted as having a hook for a hand or wielding an axe as his weapon of choice. Sadly, this urban legend was based around a real event where 5 children were kidnapped between the years of 1972 and 1987 in the Staten Island area until their kidnapper was eventually caught in 1988. The name of this kidnapper was Andre Rand, and it was later revealed that he may have kidnapped and killed these 5 children to sacrifice them to Satan, and people still think that there was a larger network of people who were involved with Andre, who were also hiding out at the Willowbrook Mental Hospital. Andre Rand is still in prison and is eligible for parole in 2037. Welcome to the Wonderful World of AIDS is a story which begins with a man who meets a particularly beautiful young woman, and the man proceeds to be completely seduced by this young lady and ends up spending the night with her. In the morning, there is no sign of the young lady. Then he enters into his bathroom to see the message, "Welcome to the wonderful world of AIDS," written in lipstick on the bathroom mirror. He then proceeds to tell the police about this encounter, and apparently this woman has had multiple victims in the past with similar accounts. This story has an incredibly similar feel to the kidney heist and the lick hand, with the climax of the story being the message in the mirror. Also, the perpetrator is sometimes referred to as AIDS Mary or AIDS Harry by the police. Though there have been cases of people giving other people AIDS on purpose, there have been no reported cases of this regard reported. The Corpse in the Chimney is an urban legend about a father dressing up as Santa for his family on Christmas Day. After finding out that his business trip has been cancelled, he decides to go down the chimney for a surprise. However, the man ends up getting stuck down the chimney, and he ends up meeting his final demise, suffocating to death there. Later, the family lights a fire, only to start smelling a foul stench coming from the chimney. Later, they look inside the chimney to see the father of the family stuck inside the chimney. There have been several cases of people being stuck inside chimneys, but there are only a couple of people dying from suffocation. Sadly, these stories include family members wanting to surprise their family, burglars trying to break into a house, and even in 2010, a Californian woman who had previously broken up with her partner tried to break back into his house, only to get stuck in his chimney and sadly suffocate to death before rescuers could break down the chimney and rescue her. The story of the toxic woman goes that a woman was admitted to hospital after her skin started to turn yellow. After the doctors began CPR on this woman, she began to emit a foul smell, incapacitating all the hospital workers in the room. Eventually, this woman died from being left on the operating table with no one to work on her, and her death was ruled a mystery as it was investigated by the CDC, who were able to find out what was causing all these toxins. Sadly, the story is partially true and was based upon a real event that happened in 1994. The patient's name was Gloria Ramirez, and she was admitted to hospital on the 19th of February 1994. She had previously received chemotherapy for her cervical cancer, and she had been just brought back into hospital after suffering heart palpitations and severe breathing problems. The medical team available injected her with several medications, which caused her body to react strangely and started to emit a foul odour that was thought to be emitting from her mouth, along with an oily-like substance which was covering her entire body. It was also reported that crystals appeared on Gloria's body. A nurse by the name of Susan Kane took some of the blood from Gloria's body and smelt the syringe, and commented that it smelt like an ammonia-like smell. After this, she soon passed the syringe to another nurse. Susan Kane then fainted and had to be taken out of the room. Soon 3 nurses had fainted, and most of the staff inside the room had to be evacuated out of the room, apart from a select few who were left to operate on Gloria. At the end of it all, 23 people had become incredibly ill. 5 had been hospitalized. Sadly, after 45 minutes of surgery, Gloria Ramirez passed away from kidney failure due to her cancer. It's theorized that she had been using dimethyl sulfoxide, which may have made the electric shock from the defibrillations cause her blood to become fused with several other chemicals to create a toxic agent of some kind. However, this has never been fully confirmed, as her body could never be properly examined. I would love to see your opinions in the comment section below on what you thought my video was like. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.